The break is over, and tonight feels different. Lakers basketball is back, but this time it isn't just another regular season return. It might be the first real glimpse of what this team was supposed to look like all along. And before we go any further, if you love smart, honest breakdowns that actually go deeper than headlines, make sure you're part of this community, because what's coming next could define the Lakers season. For the first time all year, the Lakers are on the verge of being fully healthy. Not almost, not missing one key piece. Fully healthy. That means Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves all available together. A trio that has only shared the floor for 10 games this season. 10. Out of more than 50 played. That's barely a sample size. And yet, in those limited minutes, just 151 total, they went 7-3. Small number, strong signal. Think about how chaotic this year has been. LeBron missed time early. When he returned, Reeves went down. As soon as Reeves stabilized, Luka dealt with a hamstring strain before the break. It's been a revolving door of availability. The Lakers haven't been bad. They've been incomplete. There's a difference. Now, according to head coach JJ Redick, everyone is expected to be available. Luka practiced fully. Reeves is back in rhythm. The hamstring issue wasn't long-term, and internally there's confidence this group can finally build real continuity. And continuity is everything. Because when your three best offensive creators are all elite decision-makers, chemistry multiplies production. But that's only half the story. Behind the scenes, the Lakers also made a significant front office move, hiring Lon Rosen as president of business operations. Rosen isn't a random executive. He has ties to the Buss family, dating back to the 1980s under Dr. Jerry Buss, and he spent over a decade with the Los Angeles Dodgers under Mark Walters' ownership. During that stretch, the Dodgers increased revenue year after year and built a championship-level operation, including multiple World Series appearances and titles. This isn't just a business hire, it's structural alignment, continuity between ownership visions, stability at the top. So here's the real question. Can we honestly judge this Lakers team when their three stars have barely played together? 10 games. That's it. The narrative says we know who they are, but the data says we actually don't. And starting tonight, that uncertainty might finally start turning into answers. So can we really sit here and say we know exactly what this Lakers team is? Not yet. You can point to the lack of signature wins. You can highlight the defensive lapses, the inconsistent rotations, the awkward stretches where they look disconnected. All of that is fair. But what's not fair is pretending this version of the Lakers has had stability. Even they don't fully know their identity yet. And that's the real issue. Early in the season, the identity was clear. It revolved around Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. When those two shared the floor, the offense exploded. They were generating over 60 combined points per game, at one point pushing past 70, and the team posted a plus 6.6 net rating with them together. The ball moved. The spacing worked. The shot quality improved. There was rhythm. Luka controlled pace, Reeves attacked gaps, and the offense looked modern, unpredictable, and efficient. Rui Hachimura slotted in as a scoring option, and when the center position gave even average production, it held together. But then the injuries hit again. Luka missed time, Reeves went down, rotations shifted, roles changed, and suddenly the Lakers weren't elite offensively anymore, but they weren't strong defensively either. They experimented with different coverages, even leaning more into zone principles over the past couple months. The problem wasn't effort. It was continuity. Every time momentum started to build, the lineup changed again. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. The numbers with the full trio on the court, Luka, LeBron James, and Austin, haven't been good. In limited minutes, they're sitting at a negative net rating. Meanwhile, lineups featuring Luka and Reeves without LeBron have been significantly positive. That doesn't mean LeBron is the problem. It means the fit hasn't been optimized. There's a difference. Earlier in the season, the starting lineup combinations put too much defensive pressure on the trio. Asking three primary creators to also anchor perimeter resistance was unrealistic. Opponents targeted mismatches early, built leads, and forced the Lakers to play uphill. That's not sustainable. Now the opportunity is different. Austin is no longer on a minute restriction. Luka is cleared. LeBron is healthy. That means they'll share the floor more consistently. And that makes lineup construction even more critical. They need a point-of-attack defender, someone who sets the tone, someone who doesn't need touches to impact the game. That's where Marcus Smart makes sense. He's not going to give you 25 points every night, but he brings physicality, defensive IQ, and the willingness to guard the toughest perimeter assignment. His net ratings alongside both LeBron and Luka in various stretches have been strong because he complements, not competes. He absorbs defensive responsibility so the stars can conserve energy for creation. Will that instantly fix a negative trio net rating? No. Chemistry still takes reps, but balance changes everything. Instead of three stars trying to outscore problems, you create a structure where roles are clear. And that's the real test ahead. Not talent, not star power, identity. Because until the Lakers solve that equation, the season remains potential, not proof. If the Lakers are serious about making this trio work, they don't need to reinvent basketball. They need to lean into what has already worked. And history gives us a pretty clear clue. The most functional versions of Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves haven't come in oversized traditional lineups. They've come in small ball configurations built around speed, spacing, and defensive versatility. Last season, their most dominant stretches with those three featured a mobile forward group, lineups that prioritized switching, quick rotations, and offensive flow rather than size for the sake of size. It wasn't even close statistically. The small ball units outperformed every other combination by a wide margin, both before and after the trade deadline. That doesn't mean you start every game that way. Opening with physicality and size can still matter, especially over 82 games. But closing games? That's different. That's about adaptability. That's about putting your 5 smartest, most switchable players on the floor. And that's where combinations featuring Marcus Smart alongside Rui Hachimura make real sense next to the trio. Smart gives you a defensive tone setter. Rui gives you scoring gravity and rebounding without demanding the ball every possession. Around 3 elite creators, that balance becomes critical. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. The trio hasn't been good together this season. The numbers say it. In limited minutes, their net rating is negative. That's not narrative. That's data. And while early lineup construction played a role, particularly combinations that overexposed them defensively, it also comes down to commitment. When Luka and LeBron share the floor, opponent three-point percentages have trended higher. That's not random. It reflects late closeouts, overhelping, and defensive communication breakdowns. But here's the twist. In fourth quarters and clutch situations, those same lineups tighten up. The defensive rating improves. The effort level visibly rises. The rotations sharpen. So the ability is there. The discipline shows up when the game is on the line. The question isn't, can they defend? The question is, will they defend for 48 minutes? That's why Marcus Smart matters so much in this equation. He's not there to outshine anyone. He's there to demand accountability, to guard the toughest perimeter threat, to call out coverages, to allow Luka, LeBron, and Reeves to conserve energy for orchestrating the offense without being constantly targeted. Championship-level teams don't just rely on star power. They rely on structural defenders who stabilize everything. Of course, some responsibility falls on the coaching staff, adjusting schemes, staggering minutes, experimenting with rotations. But at some point, it becomes internal. Luka has to commit defensively possession after possession. LeBron, even at this stage of his career, has to anchor rotations vocally and physically. Reeves has to fight over screens consistently. Identity isn't installed, it's chosen. And right now, health gives them that opportunity. For the first time in months, there are no minute restrictions, no staggered returns, no excuses about rhythm. Luka is cleared. Austin is unrestricted. LeBron had a full all-star break to recover. The entire 15-man roster is available. That's step one, because chemistry can't grow if availability keeps resetting it. This stretch of games isn't just about stacking wins. It's about experimentation with purpose. It's about finding which 5 close games. It's about identifying whether small ball truly is their finishing identity. It's about deciding whether this trio can outscore problems or actually eliminate them defensively. And beyond the court, the front office shift adds another layer of stability. Lon Rosen stepping into a leadership role connects organizational eras. bridging the Buss family's long-standing foundation with Mark Walter's operational structure that has produced sustained success in other major sports markets. That continuity matters. Because franchises don't just win through talent, they win through alignment. So yes, there's real optimism right now. Health, structural change, lineup flexibility. But optimism doesn't erase responsibility. The trio's negative net rating together is a warning sign, not a verdict. The defensive inconsistencies are fixable, but only if addressed. This next stretch will tell us something real. Not about potential, about identity. Are they a high-powered offense that hopes to survive defensively? Or are they a balanced contender capable of controlling both ends of the floor? For the first time all season, they finally have the availability to answer that question. Now it's about execution.